Yeah, you got to take care of yourself. You know, God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself right now.
Okay.
This is not a time to. Obama's not going to care for you. Neither is Mrs. Bachman or Perry. They're not going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself.
They can't.
They can't.
They can't.
Take care of themselves.
Right.
We've also been getting a lot of similar questions like this one from Robert from Massachusetts, who says, for those of us who have transferred into precious metals, what are we looking for as triggers to sell or barter if the financial system does collapse?
When you see people wandering the streets,
Yeah. When
looking for a place to live, breaking into
I mean,
homes.
I think you'll know.
Well, a lot of people like say, okay, I have gold. What do I do? Do I take the gold to Walmart? Like they're
But
confused.
you're not going to be. If this happens, there's no Walmart. You're not going to Walmart.
They'll be looting.
Yeah, it really will be. Here's a few gold coins. Can you get me and my family over here if you don't have it?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a totally different world.
It's a breakdown.
Yeah, it's not, and that's the hardest part, Robert, at least for me, is I've been trying to break people's minds open enough to say, we're entering a world that the world has never seen.
Amen. Mm-hmm. We've never been here before.
Never.
History is giving us clues, but we've never been here before.
Hundreds of emails asking, how do I convince my friends and my family that I need food, that we need to get water, that we need to buy ammo? I mean, how do you convince people?
I don't think you, personally, just do it. And if somebody mocks you or makes fun of you, again, I have friends who have put food and guns and everything else and rented a rental space because their friends or their family will mock them for it, and it will be a nightmare. They just put it away, and if they're mocked later, they're mocked later. Just do it. Just do it.
That's like I was saying with Y2K. I just stuffed a whole pile of food exactly in a storage locker, and when 2002 came around, I said, "Oh, I can get rid of it now."
Right.
I didn't have to think.
What are the odds that this passes and the world is saved? 0?
I don't think we can stop the dollar. And it is, as you said, the Federal Reserve Bank, 1913. Do you realize in 1913 the Fed was created? So was the Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
When you look at all this setup, you go, what's going on here? And then, as I said, 1943, suddenly every employee gets taxed. The government gets paid before you get paid.
How long do you think we have?
I don't know. I don't like to think about that. That's why I say I have my 5 Gs. I'm set. I'm working on my business. I'm thinking. I'm reading.
Do you feel it? Because I'm always wrong on timing. I have no idea. But I feel something accelerating.
As I said, I was a helicopter pilot. It takes a long time to get to altitude, right? To acquire wealth takes a long time. But in 1972, I lost my engine. You know how fast I came down?
Same day. Yeah.
And that's, all things are that way. It takes a long time to get here, but when it comes down, it goes so fast. And that's what I'm saying. Just be prepared.
I mean, here we are, sitting here in a break, pretty casually talking about, do you think we're going to go into civil war?
I hope not.
I hope not.
But it's possible.
But it wouldn't be a civil war like the North and the South. It would be within our own cities. We'd be fighting neighbor to neighbor.
It'd be cannibalism.
Okay. This guy is... you make me look sane.
Well, that's why I say you're braver than me. I've been thinking this stuff for years. I say, that guy's crazy. He's saying it.
No, you know what? I tell you, in places like here, in New York City, there's nobody that can grow a stick of food. Where are you going to grow it? What are you going to do? Nobody knows how to plant anything. It would be cannibalism here. Yeah, it would be Katrina. In some cities, it would be Katrina on a global scale without anybody coming.
You see, food is going to be a very big issue in this country because the price of food will go through the roof. And when you can't afford food, you go crazy. See, the reason there's not enough food is because we're wiping out the farmers. The average age of American farmer is 60 years old. Yeah. They're not going to be growing for much longer, and the young guys are living in the cities. Even in Japan, there's no kids working the farms. They have to bring in Koreans, and Japanese and Koreans don't get along. So for Japanese to import Koreans is like a major, okay, we have to produce food. So people might think you sound crazy and I sound crazy. Well, maybe we are. But I'd rather be prepared just in case. And that's all you're saying, and that's all I'm saying. I'm also saying the good side. I see more money being made. I see opportunities. It's a great time. But it takes courage, the kind of courage you have to speak what you say.
I am, let me ask you something, a personal question here. Here I am, I'm spending all this money, and I'm just prepared to lose it. Because I believe in an economic collapse. If that happens, well, what happens to all this stuff? It goes away. But you know what? Use the money while it's worth something. But I'm moving down to Dallas, and I'm building a place that is, for our business, that is really, I look at it as a gathering place. A place where people can go.
Wow.
That is of help. But it is, why? What are you laughing at?
Because I'm looking at Dallas myself.
Are you really?
Oh, I found a great piece of land, 100 acres, spectacular.
Yeah.
Food and water on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Bambi.
There's something to, what did you say?
And Bambi.
And Bambi.
I'd rather eat Bambi than
I know.
being.
No, I know. There's a lot to be said for Texas. But I'm looking at buying this piece of land, and I keep saying to myself, because I keep hearing, yes, do it, but I keep thinking, that's insane.
I know.
That's insane. If you're getting ready to go into college, I mean, I keep coming back to the 1930s. People thought the world was going to end.
Yeah.
It's going to dramatically change,
yes.
But it continues on.
Yes. Yes. There will be economies. There'll be a new economy, a new currency, a new life.
You think the United States Constitution stands?
I don't think so. It's in trouble.
Wow.
It's already been destroyed. I mean,
did you ever read the guy who's he was a KGB advisor, was Putin's advisor? He said in 1999 that in the next 10 years the United States was going to collapse and break into 5 countries, and he divided them. You should read. I'll send that article.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah, he's and in 1999 it looked crazy, and now it looks possible.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely possible.
I'm not a constitutional scholar like you, but all I know, the Constitution was created to create our freedoms, and people are taking away our freedoms one step at a time.
Do you see anybody? You don't have to name a name. Do you see anybody to vote for?
Well, I have to say my friend Donald, because at least he'd stir it up. You don't have to worry about where he stands. He'll tell you. But other than that, no, not really. I don't think they have. This is the problem. The problems are bigger than a president. Before, when we were the most powerful nation on earth, we didn't have China. We could kick China around. We could kick Europe around. But now the world is bigger than us.
Is there any country that you see on a collapse that survives? So in other words, does China have the resources then to say, the globe has collapsed and here we go, we're all going, or do we all go down together?
I don't know. I still think, I am very patriotic, I think America is still the best country in the world to live in. I really do. I make my money all over the world. Where do I invest? Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. Where there's oil, where there's land, where there's water, where there's food. And I still think this is the best economy in the world to invest in. But you've got to be smarter, quicker, faster, You've got to be smarter today.
Not the question. The question was, maybe you don't want to answer it. The question was,
excuse me.
Is there a country that survives, that even thrives? Is there a country that is geared right for this, so when it collapses? My grandfather taught me, he was a poor man. He was a farmer. He almost finished the 4th grade. He lived through the Great Depression. He said the time to have money is when nobody has money.
Right.
Is there anybody on earth that has that money that can benefit from a collapse like this and grab hold?
I think it's already being grabbed. I'm trying to say to people, I look at the worst of times, but for me, because I have a financial education, it's also the best of times. I have the money, and I'm grabbing like crazy right now. And a lot of people get upset with that, so you're greedy and all this. I said, well, we all have access to the same books, the same information, but we have to choose. Exactly as you said, you got to choose who teaches you, choose to think for yourself, choose to do your own research. Don't let somebody tell you what to do.